Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Sons of the Next Generation podcast. I am your host, Joe Turner, and in the studio today we have with us Miss Kayla. Thank you for coming, Miss Kayla. I appreciate your time. Before we get into today's episode, we are not sponsored by anybody, but one of you guys out there could be our next lucky sponsor. I don't know. Give it some thought. Anyways, before we get into the episode, go to TikTok, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, and go follow our social media accounts. And if you happen to listen on Apple Podcasts, which we are on, by the way, today, but this episode probably won't come out for 2-3 weeks, but go listen on Apple, go to Rumble, go to YouTube, go to Spotify. We are on all major podcast platforms. So, go give us a listen. But, if you're listening to this, that means you are. So, we appreciate you. And now, back to the episode. Okay, Miss Kayla. Well, like as I said, thank you.
You're welcome.
What is, or what was, or what has been your favorite part of staying with us over the last couple of days?
The family aspect. Just the fact that y'all are like another part of my family.
Well,
It's just like I love especially getting to like know the girls and just seeing everybody just kind of grow up.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's super cool to see.
Yeah. No, we're glad that you've been able to stay with us the last couple of days and just hang out. And wish I didn't have to work, but I did. Otherwise, I feel like it's been really. I feel like this week's been a lot busier than it normally has. You choking over there? Yeah, he's just choking. It's all right. It's okay. I don't ever want any of my episodes to be perfect. I don't edit them that much because it's just like, well, I want to be real with people, but I still edit them a little bit because it's just what I do. What you're supposed to do.
Out?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna edit that out.
Okay.
Okay. You hear both of us all right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, guys, if you don't hear us, it's not my fault. Okay, well, we're going to get into it. And, yeah. It's actually kind of funny because I didn't... initially, I was like, I interviewed your parents, and then I don't remember if it was your mom or somebody said something about it. And I was like, hey, I'd like to get, the... Your aspect, right? Your point of view, or as they say it nowadays, your POV, Ooh. Which I don't say and I won't say, but
don't say that again.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what they say nowadays. So, but I refuse to say that. But I am interested to hear because I've interviewed both of your parents, and I know both of your parents, and I know both your parents ain't lying, especially on the show.
I sure hope not.
Yeah, we hope not. Just for the record, everybody, they're not. I've known them for a long time.
They're great.
They're vetted. But I wanted to get your aspect, right? Because, your dad and I, her dad is Steve, the guy I interviewed, the big guy in the black cowboy hat and the red shirt. I looked like an Abram tank sitting across from me, and I looked like a very small motorcycle. Anyways,
he's a big guy.
He ain't small, but no. So Steve is Kayla's dad, and obviously I know that both of them are good parents, but I'm like, you know what? Why don't I get one of their children's views of what the marriage looks like and what it is, and because honestly, there's everybody's got something to say, right? And some of it's good, some of it's not. But I want other young people, right, that are between your age and my age,
yeah,
and maybe even younger than you, or maybe even a little older than me, which isn't hard to do, to go either way for, you know. But I want them to be encouraged. I want them to be able to be edified. And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, we're going to get into it, and I'm going to stop rambling because that's what I'm doing. So, if you can give us a brief summary of what is your favorite thing about your parents' relationship?
I gotta say, my favorite thing is honestly the fact that they still go on date nights. I've just like met a lot of different people who are like, "Oh, your parents, they like stay with each other. They enjoy being around each other."
Yeah.
It's just like I've seen things where it's like your parents were like, "Oh, we need our like separate time," but then it's like, what's the point of getting married at that point?
Yeah.
But my parents, they will actually go out on date nights. Sometimes they'll invite me, which is awesome.
Oh, cool.
But I'm like, they still love each other, and you can still see that they're in love.
Yeah.
And I like seeing that with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool, and that's good because I think we out of all the conversations, I don't remember if it was one of the last. I don't remember if it was one of the episodes that I did with your mom and your dad, or if it was just us talking, you know. But man, it's so important to be able to, or not be able to, but it's so important to prioritize the marriage, because if you have the marriage just centered around the kids, one day all the kids are going to be gone. It's like, well, do I know the person that I'm married to? So I'm really, I love hearing and knowing that your parents still do that. So that's great.
Oh yeah.
Growing up, because you're basically grown now.
That's true.
Basically. What was the importance of God in your guys' family? You know, what was it just kind of he's out there?
I feel like more so towards like whenever I was like little, I feel like that's whenever we kind of had like less of like including God and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like seen it over the years, which I absolutely love, is just like the fact that my parents, they've really included God, and we've really made that just part of our daily lives each day. It's like back then, it's like, of course, there's God in the picture. We went to church.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I've just seen the relationships just grow stronger and stronger with just me and my parents over the years.
So you're talking about your relationship with your parents is what got stronger?
Like, just having, like, God in the relationship.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
If that makes sense.
Oh, well,
I
yeah.
Like I just worded that bad.
Well, no, that's fine. I won't edit that out. But, but obviously, you know, whenever you do bring God into the, you know, he unites us, you know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know I've said it, it's one of the greatest things that us as humans can have in common is God, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because honestly, if you look at anybody in our church, and I'll say our church because it's our church, none of us would be hanging out together at the bar.
No.
None of us would be hanging together out at the club. I don't even think we have a club here, but if we did, you know. Well, what I'm saying is, like, none of us that go to church together really have that much in common to be, you know, we'd all just be going and hanging out and stuff. But it's like we have God in common, you know, and that's the greatest thing that you can have in common.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little something, and like I said, I can edit anything out. But what was the time? So have you always said that 2 times in a row? I'll edit that out. You would say right now that your walk with God is pretty close.
I'd say so right now.
Okay.
Especially right now.
Has it always been that way?
No.
Okay. You want to talk about that? Are you comfortable talking about that?
I'm comfortable talking about anything.
Do aliens exist?
Yes. I'm kidding. No. God created man. You know, I'm just saying, in the Bible, it doesn't talk about God making, like, a whole entire, like, other, you know, creatures.
Because then maybe Jesus would have to, you know, go to insert planet name, right, and maybe die for them, too. But anyways, guys, we're not here to talk about aliens, but, you know, I just want to stir the pot a little bit. No, but if you're comfortable talking about, you know, if that a time that you weren't as close to God as you are now, and kind of walk us through what that looked like, because I think a lot of us, including myself, including you, grew up in church, grew up with God, and there was a time that we weren't really seeking Him, and it was just like, well, He's there, but yeah. So you can start wherever you want to, and we're going to listen.
I'm going to try to make it the shortest, longest story.
The shortest, longest story. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Sorry
good.
about popping my knuckles. It's a little habit.
Me too.
I gotta say, whenever I was young, I remember I got baptized, I think about 8, 9, 10-ish, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first time I've ever been baptized, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get on this boat. I'm gonna try to actually, like, build whatever this thing is, because, like, I didn't know at the time. Like, I understood who God was, but I didn't really understand, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I was in school and stuff, if I were to, like, talk about God, it's like, that's the thing that you get made fun of, like, you know? And it's like, it's the moment where it's like, I was being called goody two-shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting called too good for anything.
Yeah.
And that was something that just kind of, like, stuck with me during, like, my middle school years, like, my upper elementary to middle school. And it was just, like, that was the thought in my head is, like, oh, you're just a goody two-shoe. And that's kind of something where it just kind of switched in my mind. Of where I went, well, I don't want to be a goody two-shoe. Because, well, me now, I'm like, that's a great thing that I was.
Right.
Because it's like, you're called to be different from the world. And that's just the world just trying to, you know, turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, like, something that really affected me where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to switch that. And that's whenever things just kind of got downhill. I got into my middle school years. At this point, I'm calling myself a Christian. I was very much so going through the motions at church and everything. But it's like, I would just go back home. I'd do whatever. I would just do whatever I wanted. And it's like, at that point, I wasn't doing anything stupid, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But I can tell you I wasn't having, like, a relationship with the Lord. Once I got into my 8th grade year, that's whenever things started getting a little bit stupid there.
Yeah.
I started a job at McDonald's, which probably I shouldn't have. I mean, so far, out of all my jobs that I've had so far, McDonald's was the best one. But
Why did you, like, start doing a bunch of drugs and, like,
yes,
beating people up?
not beating people up. I haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay.
I still have yet. I'm kidding.
You still have
Joking.
yet? Still yet? There's still time, people. There's still time.
Still time. It depends. If somebody's attacking one of my friends, we might have an issue there.
Might have an issue.
Whenever I was working at McDonald's and stuff, the work, they piled it on me like crazy. I was like, okay, because I was only like 14 at this time, 14, 15. But I had like these friends over there who went to my school. Like one of them did, one of them didn't. But the one who didn't go to school, she introduced me to, honestly, marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I started just doing like every other weekend, it seemed like, whenever I worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember my mom was like, you okay? I'm just like, oh, no, just tired. And I'm going to be honest. I'm saying it. Sorry, Mom. There was a time or two of where I may have been high, and then I drove with my mom in the car because I had my permit at that time. Yeah. Yeah, and I was just calling that my norm.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've just noticed over the years that my anxiety and my stresses, they just kept on going up and up. And I was like, oh, this is something that kind of helps. And then also at McDonald's, I got introduced to the mankind.
The mankind.
The man, yes. And that also kind of led me down a road that I probably shouldn't have gone down.
Can you, what is that?
Sexual immorality.
Sexual immorality, okay.
Yep, and that was, I think, 14 or 15. That was the first time I gave myself away. And me this day, I wish I could just take it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did my parents know? No. I was still absolutely good at home.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But I still acted great. I was, like, very much so two different people, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
I know this is probably the first time you've heard
This
about
is this is the first time I'm hearing about it, and
Charlotte already has.
Oh, I'm sure she has. You've spent the last couple of days with her, which is great. You know, yeah. I mean, I you know, if I'm being honest, I knew you was going through some stuff. I had no idea what anything that, you know what I mean. Like I just knew that, you know, I don't really know how to say. I just knew that you was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, making some choices that you probably shouldn't be making.
Yeah.
But dude, we all do.
Yeah.
You know, man, keep going. I'm sorry, I don't remember if I interrupted
no,
or
you're
not.
all good. No, but that was especially a person that I probably shouldn't have been around. And if
Yeah.
I didn't work at McDonald's, I wouldn't have met him.
Yeah.
Or like any of the people over there.
Okay, let me ask you something real quick. So just for the people that are listening, was there like some kind of, what was the reason what was the reason that you decided to participate in that?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm trying to word this. And so parents, if I don't know, I don't know. I've never been a long time podcaster. I might have to hit it. I don't know if I got to put the thing on there that says explicit content or not. But anyways, I don't know. Parents, obviously, they're talking about some sex stuff. So yeah. What was your thought process behind, honestly, just choosing to have all the sex? You know what I'm saying?
Let's get this over with.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I think it was more so, like what I was saying earlier, is just the fact that I was getting called goody two-shoe, like in those years before. So that's whenever I was like saying that I had that switch that just flipped inside my head. That was the thing where it was less of I wanted to do it, more of, oh, I have all these friends who've experienced it. And so, of course, like, now that I'm like my age that I am and the maturity that I have, it's like I hear like 4th, 5th graders who are talking about that, and I'm like, it hurts my heart. And it just hurts my heart for those people. But I guess the real thought process was just kind of going through a rebellion, I guess. Because it's like, at this point, I'm not having a relationship with God at all. I go to church. I do the thing. I raise my hands. I put them back down. I sit down. I stand up. But whenever I was outside of church, I was a totally different person. If I was in front of my parents, I'm a total different person. If I'm in front of my friends, total different person. If I'm in front of this friend, I'm a total different person. So I was dealing with like a lot of issues of being my actual self. Like I kind of lost my identity in the process.
Yeah. So would it be safe to say that you were looking for your identity, where in all reality you knew what your identity should be, right? Us as Christians, our identity is found in Christ.
Yeah.
And you just, I guess there was a part of you that was like, it's a real thing, man. The pull of the world is a real thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't know where your identity is, if you don't know, right, if your identity is not in Christ, right, it's not built upon anything solid. And so, honestly, man, that's crazy, because I honestly had no idea about any of this stuff about you. And
I didn't tell anybody.
I guess. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to say, because I'm still trying to process. I really am, because I like I said, I didn't know, but on the same hand, dude, like, okay,
yeah, I don't remember what my parents said about anything. I just remember last time I came, two times before this, whenever I came, I had my phone taken away because of that situation.
Was that whenever we were playing the Jackbox games?
I think so. Did I have to use somebody else's phone? Maybe.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Okay, so this guy was working at McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
And so you're just like, well, I'm tired of being called a goody two shoes. The pull on the world is real. We've established that. And so the pull on the world was just out there. You were in a worldly environment, and you're basically a sailboat in the middle of the sea, and you're not anchored to anything.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, well, I'm just going to go with the. I'm going to let other people tell me who I am, right? I'm going to let other people dictate what I do.
Because at this point, I very much so had, like, bad body image. Like, I remember from my 8th grade year to my, like, freshman year, this is, like, whenever this kind of happened, I was almost, like, 200-something pounds whenever I was in my 8th grade year. I got bullied in, like, my middle school years for being overweight. And then finally, whenever I was, like, going from 8th grade to freshman year, I remember I was, like, going through whatever type of school stuff, and I remember I was just choosing not to eat. And I just lost, like, quite a bit of weight. Where I got to, like, my lowest weight that I have been. I was like, okay, well, now that I'm down, I still don't feel great about myself. So let's have somebody make it feel greater.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and I mean, did you feel better? Did you after that? Were you like, man, I'm just so beautiful now? Or and I don't ask that sarcastically,
No, I
and
know what you
I
mean.
realize it maybe sounds sarcastic. So for the people that are listening, I honestly, like in my heart, I'm not trying to sound sarcastic,
you're all good.
but it's a real thing. You're not, you're not the only one I've talked to. But for somebody listening, that's maybe like, okay, well, that's maybe relating to exactly what you're talking about. Like, hey, that man, the pull of the world is real. I'm thinking about, having sex with this person, or just in general, just because I want to feel beautiful, I want to feel loved, and that's the only way. That's the way the world tells me I can feel loved. Did you feel loved after?
No. I mean, during the moment, I'm like, oh, a person. I'm gaining attention.
Yeah.
Like, you already knew about the attention thing from, like, before we even moved out of
Right,
North Dakota.
right, yeah.
Over, I'm, like, digging this attention. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, because, certain people, insert whatever name in there.
Yeah. I won't insert the name, but I know it in my
Yep.
brain.
Yep. I was very much so. I've
Yeah.
always, like, taken attention. I'm like, okay, I'll take attention.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm, like, physically taking the attention.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe this is something I want to go through.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And the things that I got told by the guy, now I thought in my head, even like after it was just like, it hit me hard, I guess you can say. Am I allowed to say word?
Whatever you need to say it.
He called me a slut. First time.
I'd look. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Keep talking.
Also, sorry for
No.
ears.
I don't care.
But that's why I got called that day, first time. And that was just something that just stuck with me.
Mm.
And I was like, oh. And he thought of it as like I get to say this type of thing. Just because apparently it was attractive in his own head. But then in mine, I'm like, what? Did you just call me that?
Mm.
And he was already hitting on me whenever I was working at McDonald's. And that's how that whole entire situation happened.
Mm.
But that's what he called me. And I remember I got home that night. And I just like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like, what did I just do?
Mm.
Like, it was just like the realization of what, never gone through that. That was like innocence totally strapped, just taken away.
Mm.
And it was by somebody who, of course, first of all, didn't love me, didn't know the Lord.
Mm.
He just treated me as if I was like a body.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm a human.
Well, yeah. Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. I'm starting to realize now why. While I was feeling the way I was feeling before we started this, because like, wow, this got deep and this got heavy like real fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's wow, that's real. Wow.
Also, I don't even think I've told most people that. Maybe my mom heard it. I don't remember.
Are you okay with it going out
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
on the? Okay.
This is my testimony. That isn't me anymore.
No, I know that, and it's just like, I got so many emotions
Yeah.
right now. I'm like, I really don't like this guy, and I don't even know who he is or what town he lives in. I think I know what state he lives in, but I'm like,
You're gonna find him.
I
Hit him up.
want to find him, dude. Let me find this guy. Let me, you know what I mean? But that doesn't do anything. That doesn't help
Yeah.
anything. Wow.
No, but that was just very much so a thing where I'm like, okay, it's attention that I can kind of get.
Yeah.
It was just because, like, the little things I was told, just like in my middle school years, and you don't realize, like, for any bullies out there who are watching, be careful on what you're saying to people. Get that bully thing out of there. Because I'm just saying, those little words that you get told, or being called the chubby girl, those are things that just stick with you. And it's just like, whenever you have those things that just stick with you, that's something where you're like, well, how can I make it better for myself? And that was my mindset there. So, going off... Oh.
No, it's all right. Keep going. This is the next guest.
Sorry. Going on, though. So, this dude, he's done with me. And he's still, like, texting me every once in a while being like, oh, hey, how's it going? And it's like, there was no love. There was nothing in that.
Yeah.
I can tell you that for an absolute fact.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I remember my friends, like, one of my friends heard about it because I accidentally, like, I talk and I talk. And one of my friends was like, what? And then she was not very happy with me, and she's like, you realize who this dude is? And I learned of how many other people he had been with. Which made it even harder for me because I'm like, okay, he already took away something that was of value.
Yeah.
He took away the value I even had in myself, which was already barely any at that point. It's just all those things I just realized were just kind of stripped away, and it's like he didn't love me, and those were the thoughts I were going through. Going on though, that's whenever I more so started getting into more weed. I was just like, okay, maybe I can just like make things chill out. At that point, at the age of 15, I got drunk for the first time. I'm being honest. Sorry if you're listening to this. I love y'all. I took alcohol from my own brother and his wife that they had downstairs.
Yeah.
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 I took that. I got drunk because I'm like thinking, well, maybe this will help. Like that was the honest mindset. And once again, I was already going through like kind of a rebellion phase at this point. And I was like, okay, well, how's this gonna make me feel? Next thing you know, I throw up like 5-6 different times, and I woke up with like 20 videos on my phone the next day of me throwing up, basically.
Who took them?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, but you didn't know you did
No,
it?
I woke up and I was
Interesting.
like, oh,
Okay.
yeah. And I just kind of got deeper into those, and I started vaping at one point.
Yeah.
And I was getting into that because it's just like those little highs that you can get. Yeah. And at this point, I'm like dealing with like all this anxiety and everything. I started honestly just hating myself just every day. It was just like you wake up and it's like I was still wanting the attention. And it's like at this point, I tried to avoid my parents. I honestly don't remember my parents very much throughout that time. Which I was with them all the time, but it's like I wasn't with them. I was very much so, how do I hide this? How do I hide this person? How do I keep this person away from them? How do I give them their little baby that they had before? Sorry. Okay. It was just... Yeah. Wow. And the next guy rolls in. And he comes into the picture.
Yeah.
And this is within my freshman year, I guess you can say. And me and him were just starting to talk as friends and stuff. And me and him were just talking. And then after that, one day, he was like, oh, by the way, you're beautiful. Just saying those simple little things. I'm like, oh, is this person, like, genuinely into me?
Yeah.
And, of course, me and him were just talking and stuff. And he's, like, making, what if this happened? What if this happened? Which, to me, is disgusting.
What's...
Just like...
okay, what's this? What are you talking about?
What if we were to hold hands?
Okay.
What if we were to hug? And then it just got more interesting from there.
More towards not hugging.
Yep.
Or hugging with less clothes
Yes. Yeah.
on. Okay. Well.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So he's just like putting his feelers out there, like, okay, what's your limit? What's your boundary?
And that's kind of what happened there.
Okay.
I remember I snuck out of my window to go see him. That's how I saw the first guy. And he was the second person who had taken something of value from me.
Sure, yeah.
But I snuck out my window, and this happened about 4 or 5 different times with this guy.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm still doing weed. I'm still vaping. I got caught vaping already at this point, which is why I think I was in trouble whenever I came to North Dakota that one time.
Yeah, okay.
But my parents had no idea about this whole entire situation.
When did you...
I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
So I was just going out with this dude, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. I was doing things online with people I probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Just because the fact that I wanted to hear, oh, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Except, of course, that wasn't what I heard. I heard, like, what the first guy told me.
Yeah.
Basically calling me a whore, a slut.
Yeah.
And they think that that's an attractive thing to say, which it's not.
No.
So, you have this one guy that he's actually calling me beautiful. I go out with him and stuff. And this is a few times I sneak out. And then I'm already, like, my brain is, like, so far gone at this point. And I don't even know how I even get there. And I don't know how I even got there is the real thing. But finally, one night, I was like, okay. Oh, yeah. My parents had heard about it one other time.
Heard about what?
Me sneaking out with him.
Okay.
From a friend. Because I told my friend about it, and she was not happy. And I remember I hated my friend so much for telling my parents.
Yeah.
But now I'm thankful for that friend. But she told my parents. And then they got me in trouble. And they're like, okay, we're going to keep you in school, but we're taking away your phone. And that's how that happened. And this is only my freshman year. And then finally, come sophomore year. This is also within this time. At one point, I did have a relationship. Did I cheat in that relationship? I did not.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like directly after the relationship, I was like wanting to get into whatever. Well,
Mm-hmm.
water break.
Yeah, go for it. Joey, will you go tell the next our next guest out there? It'll just be a few more minutes. Oh, that's great. Wow. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, keep going.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, my parents find out, they take away my phone, and they're like, okay, don't do that again. Of course, I pull the, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And then I just started, like, crying. Of course, because that's the first reaction that's going to happen.
No.
And then finally, they're like, okay, we're going to keep you in school, but if this happens again, you're done.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm in trouble. I'm like, oh, okay. Summer goes on. Summer's already going on. Band camp has happened. And at this point, I'm also already having ISS from like the first or second day of school just because of the fact I got caught vaping.
Okay.
And, well, my mom and dad were already very not happy, like very much so not happy.
Yeah.
I was going through my school days and I was like, okay, I'm going to do good. I'm going to do as good as I can in front of my parents. So next thing you know, me and the guy, we start, like me and that second dude, we start texting all over again. And then finally I'm like, what if we just, one last time?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm about to get in this relationship. Sure. One last time. Like a different relationship.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I was like, okay, one last time before I do.
Yeah.
And then finally, one night I'm about to go out my window. I literally have my phone. First of all, I shut it off all the way after we're texting and stuff. I set it under my covers. I set up my covers and stuff where it was like human body.
Yeah.
And I go out my window. Next thing you know, I accidentally like make a noise on the house and then my dog starts barking. And she just started barking and barking. And as I was going out, finally I'm like, okay, maybe she'll just be quiet. And after that, I close my window and I leave. And I go inside of his car. And this time, instead of being in the car, we go to his house.
Okay.
And this is about like 15 minutes away. So I get there. Next thing you know, as things are going on,
Sure.
he gets a phone on his call saying Kayla.
Oh, no.
From my phone number.
So obviously it's not you because you and...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I remember just like the fact of where my heart just dropped. And I was like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
And finally we didn't answer the phone. And then my mom texted on the other end and she said, hey, get Kayla on the phone. So I answered the phone and my mom's like, Kayla, where are you right now? And I had to tell her.
Yeah, wow.
I told her on the phone. She's like, get home right now. And I remember we were on the way back home. Dude was freaking out and he's like, I'm sorry for ruining your life. And then in my head, I'm like, why did my parents have to ruin my life?
Yeah.
But of course, that's the thoughts that's going to go in my head at that point. So I get back home. My dad and my brother and my mom and Taylor, they all come towards the car and they all start like kind of yelling at him and basically threatening the police because at that point I'm 16, he's 17, about to go on to 18. So my parents are like, we're not dealing with this. And then finally my dad's like, okay, you're out. And something that did kind of stick with me in a way, which I've officially gotten rid of. My dad, he just looked at me and he's like, Kayla, you're becoming a whore. And that's what he told me.
Yeah.
Which, I love you, Dad, but that did stick for a while.
Yeah.
And that was just like the thought process that I had. And my dad's like, okay, you're not going back to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's how I got pulled out of school.
Sure.
That was my official out.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was very much so hating my parents. I was hating my life. At this point, I was already suicidal at this point, and I was cutting. And I remember I was like, okay, I'm going to end it. I'm going to be done. I hate this. I hate myself. I hate everything that's around me right now. I hate my parents. And at that point, I put in my journal and stuff that I wanted to, like, instantly leave my house at 17 and just be gone. Just because of the fact that I didn't want to listen to rules. So, finally, one night, I'm, like, setting up a bath. And I have a hairdryer that has a pretty long cord. And I was about to take a bath at this point. Actually, hold on. Going back a little bit. This is kind of a little bit of a turnover-ish type thing. My mom, that night that I got home, she was like, Kayla, I don't even know who you are anymore. And me and her were basically together all day, every day. And that's what she told me. And I was like, oh, you don't know me? Well, going on, I'm already hating myself and already hating the world, hating the people around me, being like, oh, I want this guy. He told me that I'm beautiful. Like, that was my mindset there. And I was about to end it. Be done.
Yeah.
And finally I'm like, okay, Lord, if you're there, stop this. And I had the hairdryer, and I was about to just drop it. And then finally my niece knocks on the door, and she's like, Kayla, what are you doing? And then finally I'm like, okay, well, I can't let my niece see me like that.
No.
So finally, I just get out of the bath, and I'm like, okay. And that was just kind of my turning point there.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, it was a lot. Me and my mom were sitting on the couch one day, and this is like a month after the whole entire like situation of me being pulled out of school. And she's just like, Kayla, we need to talk. And she's like, I don't know who you are. I don't know my baby. The little girl that I had is gone. And that was a tough thing to hear. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean she's gone? I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I know she's gone.
Yeah.
But me and my mom, like, she prayed over me, because that was like my really big breakthrough. Is I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with the hating myself. I'm done with the cutting. I'm done with all of this. And then finally, my mom and I, she prayed over me, and then we got those things.
Yeah.
Got those things done with, where I was like, okay, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with the shame. To this day, I still sometimes deal with the shame and the thoughts of what I did. And it's like, it's just like sometimes those thoughts just kind of like stay, and it's like, I do pray every day, where I'm like, okay, Lord, help me with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot. But I went through it. I got through it. Me and my mom, we prayed.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna do better. And then I started reading my word in the morning and at night, trying to like pray. And at first it didn't really seem real, if that made sense.
Yeah.
Like, I knew God was there, but it's just like, I didn't feel him. I don't think I was even allowing myself at that point to truly feel him, just because I felt shame.
Yeah.
And just the thoughts of what I did, I'm like, okay, how could I ever?
Yeah.
And finally I was just like, okay, Lord, I'm giving this to you. And then finally I feel like that was like the closest I'd felt at that point. And then I just kept on going with that walk. And then here I am today. Do I still deal with struggles? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I allow them to take over me? No. But struggles are real.
Struggles are real.
The world will try to pull at you. Whenever you finally try to give it all to God, that's whenever it seems like it's really going down on you.
Yeah. Wow.
That was my testimony there.
Wow. No, I gotta confess something to everybody. It's not a bad confession, I guess, but no, I was, Kayla, like I said, I had no idea about any of this about you. And I knew that you had something to say, but this was not where I thought it was going to go, if I'm being honest. I figured we were going to talk about your parents' relationship a little bit. And don't take this as this was, I still don't have words. I just, wow.
you're all good.
You know what I mean? And whenever I say I'm like, wow, not like, oh, wow, she's such a bad person, because no, absolutely not. But I say wow because that is literally everything you just said. And then that shows like the redemptive power of Christ's blood. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That shows how much a life can be transformed, even in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, and this is like literally within like 2 years.
Wow.
2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like, everything just going boom, 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 boom.
Wow. Dude, yeah, I bet that was a crazy 2 years.
Yeah. I remember I would always get like the talks of, Kayla, I can't trust you. Just from both of my parents. And I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Yeah. No, man, I honestly, and so I guess my confession, if you will, I didn't know any of that, and I did not. I guess if I'm being honest, I didn't think that you had such a powerful testimony like that, because I was like, oh, well, it's just, normal Christian, I say normal Christian testimony, like there's any normal ones there,
No.
reigned, but yeah, man, that's I was just like, oh well, we're gonna talk a little bit about our parents, couple boyfriends that were probably meatheads, and
Oh yeah,
you know
there was
more,
that too.
and yeah, that'll probably be it. And then I was on the edge of my seat, like, what you went through what what? And I'm like, wow, golly.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
spiritual change over like the past year and a half now.
Yeah, wow. So, honestly, I feel like we keep talking for a while, but I don't know if we would just be rambling at that point, because like you got straight to the point. And you're like, listen, here's how it is.
Well, it is my testimony.
Yeah, wow. If you were going to say something to somebody your age, somebody that's a little bit younger than you, somebody that's a little bit older than you, and they are thinking about saying, hey, heck with it. I'm just going to have sex with somebody because I want to feel beautiful. Obviously, from what you've said.
Although I will say this can go for guys and girls both.
Yeah.
I will absolutely say that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. So, what would you say to them? Because obviously, you're the only one who knows how you felt.
Oh yeah.
Right after, right? And I don't mean to be graphic, but that's a real thing, dude. Like what?
It is a real thing.
So you only know how you felt right after, and you're like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel like I've gained anything. I just feel like something's been taken from me. What would you say to either a guy or a girl that's thinking about that? What would you say to them?
Don't do it. Well, that's like the lightest way to put it.
Yeah.
Just the way that even that first time, it's just like it's taking away your innocence, and that's a very valuable thing. Like in God's eyes, my own eyes, like just the innocence in people. Like that's a thing that you don't want taken away, because once you get that innocence taken away, it's like you can't get it back, and that's how it seems. And it's a very much so like a rabbit trail. It's like once you start, it's like you can't get enough at that point.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah.
Okay.
So just don't do it.
Don't do it. I love it, man. Don't. The opposite of Nike. Don't do it.
Because that's really like the start of what caused me to go down.
Yeah.
I feel like either way, originally I wasn't in like a spot of where I was with God, but I think at that point I was trying to like somewhat get in the Word.
Yeah.
And that's especially whenever the devil's like, oh hey, there's a guy right here.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. It's always whenever you feel like you're at your best is whenever the devil tries to get to you. That's at least what I've learned.
Yeah, you feel like you're on top of the world, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
here's something.
Oh, also something else for people out there. If you do it, just don't. Just don't. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because it's going to feel amazing in the moment. But afterwards, it's just going to feel like how you put it. Something taken away.
Yeah.
You just feel less of yourself. And that's how I really lost my identity in the whole entire process. And I'm still to this day trying to get back my identity. Lately, I'm being honest. I'm a Christian. I still deal with things.
Mm-hmm.
God doesn't promise it to be perfect.
No.
I still deal with some stresses and anxieties, but I pray for it each day, and I've realized it's just kind of gone down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, constantly, consecrating those the anxieties, the fears, even real quick, what was it like? Like, did you feel a lot of condemnation after that? Because obviously, we're Christians. We believe what the Bible says. We believe that having sex before marriage is a sin. Did you have to wrestle with a lot of condemnation? And did that come from anybody, or mainly just yourself? Or did you not really wrestle with that because you're like, well, I know God's forgiven me?
Like, are you talking about after the fact of me?
Well, right after you'd done the sex, or did you struggle with condemnation? Do you still struggle with condemnation?
I still sometimes struggle with it.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll have a friend who makes comments about it.
Yeah.
Of where she was, I love her to death, but then also there's just some things that were happening within that time where she'd be like, she had done stuff with her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was like, well, that's not bad. what you did is terrible. And she basically threatened to leave the friendship, and that's how I lost one of my closest friends. Actually, a few of my closest friends. Was because they're like, you're such a terrible person for what you did. And it's just like, even after the fact, it's like, I'd texted the people because I felt God telling me, you need to, like, tell them that, first of all, that you're sorry and that you forgive them for leaving. Because I have, like my father, I also have somewhat of a rejection issue.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's something that just kind of hits different, I guess you can say. But yeah, that was like a moment where I lost a lot of my friends just because they're like, you're terrible for what you did, which, yeah, that was a terrible thing that I did.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you are a Christian, by the way, 2 Christians out there, if you have a friend who goes through something like that, don't leave them. Pray for them.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean being buddy-buddy with them, but I'm like, I had one friend, and I love her with all my heart. Kayla, Essery, I love you. Not sure if I'm able to do that, but I'm doing it. Shout out.
Sure, go ahead.
With her. She was the only friend who, first of all, she cried to her mom. She told me that she flat out just cried to her mom, being like, this is what my friend did. And her mom talked to her, and then finally she was like, okay, I'm not going to be buddy-buddy, but I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be with you on the walk. And that was something that I think that really did kind of keep me up.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, after the fact of my friends just knowing what I did, they were very much so, oh, well, I can't be around you.
Right.
You're too terrible person to be around. I had a friend who told me, Kayla, I can't love you.
Oh. Wow. Man, they're...
Oh, hold on. I worded that wrong. She worded it, Kayla, you're too hard to love.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, guys, there's a big... Anybody out there, man, the Bible doesn't... We're not supposed to condone sin. We're not supposed to promote sin. We're not supposed to promote sin within ourselves. We're not supposed to promote sin with our spouse or with our friends or with our kids or with anybody that we know. You don't promote sin, but the reality is that that's what Jesus came to save us from, is our sin, right? Jesus didn't say, oh man, these people are too bad, I got to run away. No, he didn't. So, guys, don't leave your friends that are in struggling through something, that they're, even if they're willfully sinning for a time, don't just leave them, right? Be there for them. And that we could totally rabbit trail on this, and like I said, I'm not saying to condone it, but be there. Be there for them. Remind them what Christ's love is. And just a caveat, because there's always people out there. But yeah, sometimes because of sin, sometimes you do have to break off relationships. Sometimes you have to take a step back. You don't always, but you do sometimes. But guys, show them the love of Christ. Be there for them. Like Kayla said, pray for them. Wow. Oh, I'm still, yeah, wow. Wow. Well, that was great, Kayla. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I already wanted another episode. Yeah. Wow. Guys, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. That's why he came. And John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. And that's Jesus. That's his words.
Yeah. I also gotta say something that
Yeah.
did kind of really get me out of that also. Like,
Yeah.
after the fact that I had already been, of course, caught red-handed at that point.
Yeah.
Well, something that also did really help me get out of it is the song Reckless Love of God.
Oh, yeah.
Like, words like, he chases me down, fights till I'm found,
Yeah.
leaves the 99.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, like, knocking all these mountains down just to get to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was something that really did help at that moment.
Yeah.
Was just hearing that song, just hearing about how God, he really does. He leaves the 99 to catch the one.
Yeah. And which I know there's a lot of people out there they're like, oh, that song's bad theology, that song is awful, that's not biblical. Well, guys, if you look at it from a worldly perspective, right, from just Johnny walking down the street, right, Johnny Farmer, Johnny Shepherd, whatever, you're not usually, I don't know. I'm not a shepherd. I'm not a sheep herder. But it doesn't make sense to me. If I got 100 sheep and one of them runs away, I don't know how much a sheep costs, but I'm not going to leave 99 of them dumb suckers, to go get one. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I'll take my, I don't know, $200 loss, 27 cent. I don't know how much a sheep costs. I'll take that little loss and keep the rest of them. That's what he does. That's what he does. It's in the Bible. So, man, wow. Thank you, Kayla. Man, I got to tell you, thank you for being vulnerable, and potentially for the whole world. I don't know. Yeah. It's famous podcast.
It's very
famous. So now you're famous.
Woo-hoo.
And once this comes out in a couple weeks. But wow. Thank you. Thank you again for taking the time to come on. I'm going to pray for you guys. And yeah. Wow. It's crazy. I really want to get. Whenever you're talking, Kayla, I'm like, man, I just want to give this girl a hug. Wow, yeah. So, God, thank you. God, thank you for sending your Son. God, thank you for sending Jesus, and for you dying, for you to bridge that gap, because there's no way that we could ever pay for our own sin. And only your blood. Only. So we thank you. Thank you. And God, I just pray for anybody out there that's listening to this. God, I pray over them. God, I pray if they're struggling with wanting to give themselves away to somebody with saying, man, the only way I can feel loved is if I have sex with somebody, because that could not be farther from the truth. So, Lord, right now, I just pray if somebody's listening to this, God, I just pray you touch them right now, God. I pray that you show them your love. God, so anybody struggling with a drug addiction, that's struggling with drugs, insert whatever it is. If it's nicotine, if it's marijuana, if it's crack cocaine, it doesn't matter. God, I just pray that you show up, God, and you show them who you are, God. Show them your love. And God, I just thank you. Thank you, Father. And God, I just pray that anybody listening to this, God, I just pray you bless them. And it's in your Son's name we pray. Amen. Guys, thank you for listening. And yeah, I encourage you guys, get in the Word of God. Seek God. Kayla, again, thank you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for sharing. And look forward to having you on again.
Deal.
That was wow. Okay, guys. Well, thank you. And I don't know, whatever you do at the end. Peace out. Love you guys. Bye. Whatever. Bye.